in technology and 5G, improvement in energy electricity. Before we proceed, let me lead you through Cambodia information background. Alright, first of all, about Cambodia. Cambodia is 181,035 square kilometers. As you can see, it's situated right in the center, in the middle of Asia. It's surrounded by the countries like Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and also Malaysia. So it is right in the center of the Asia, as we can see from the map here. It is in the core of ASEAN, which means it is also easy accessible from any countries. And you can travel by air, from the flight taking from China, from Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Japan, whichever country in Asia, in ASEAN. It took not more than 2.5 hours to reach Cambodia. As we know, Cambodia is the rising tiger in Asia. So its capital is at Phnom Penh, and renowned places such as Siem Reap, the Angkor Wat. Its population is 16.85 million. The ethnic group takes about 82% of Khmer, 8% of Vietnamese, 1% Chinese, and 4% of others. And we know that their religion, just like Thailand, their main religion is Buddhism. And the language they use is Khmer and also English. They are also ASEAN members on 30th April 1999, and they are also member of WTO. The currency they use may be inquiry. They use US currency and real dollar. Real is the Khmer's currency. But in the major transaction that they use in Cambodia, mostly is in US dollars. And Cambodia is the only country in Asia that use USD. So let's talk about Phnom Penh, because we are touching on the capital, Phnom Penh. Phnom Penh, the land area is 692 square kilometers. The population is 2.1 million as of 2020, as you can see from the slide. Accountable about 90% of population that is in Phnom Penh. And places of interest, we all know that people usually go Cambodia besides Angkor Wat. They will go to the Royal Palace, Walkman, National Museum, and also the Independence Monument, and so on and so forth. So, what are the top 10 reasons why investing in Cambodia? Or why do we look into Cambodia? So I have listed out 10 reasons for you. First of all, stable government. Hun Sen have been in the government as a prime minister office for 36 long years, and it's run in a single party. Until now, it's still running strong. Next is the Belt Road Initiative. Cambodia is one of the highest participant countries that participate in Belt Road Initiative. And next, they have the high GDP of 7%. Even like last year, due to COVID, their GDP is 5%. It's still running very well. So this year, they are picking up from there. So for 9 consecutive years before COVID, it has been running for 7 years. Next is the USD currency that we're talking about just now. And following, they have a lot of rich resources, natural resources, such as oil, gold, diamond. They have full of rich natural resources. And next one is tourist and aspects. Of course, before COVID, we would say that their tourism is running as a very bustling, it's very bustling there. So we're not talking about the COVID and all this, because all over the world, the tourism is affected. But next, let's focus on others. They have high rental yield. And they have high demand over there in Cambodia. You'll be surprised. But because the supply is still limited, and Cambodia is trying to catch up the supply to meet the demand. So that's why there's a high rental yield over there for property and low entry price. As I just mentioned, they have a high demand for residential, for commercial properties. There is a high upcoming demand, as you can see from the graph. And today we'll talk about touching on the young population. Cambodia has young and vibrant population. In their median age is 27 years old. As you can see from the graph, a lot of percentage is actually from the young age. So the median age is 27 years old, less than 30 years old. So let me ask you, in the Asian country, how many countries are as young as Cambodia with a median age group of 27 years old? Even Singapore is starting to aging. Even Japan is aging, So Cambodia is a young country with young people that is growing up strong over there. And the young people there are educated, they are effective and efficient in production. And one thing I think you will not imagine, or you'll be surprised, they are very high-tech savvy. So coming next, as we are talking about Cambodia fintech today, and who will be talking about fintech for us today, we will invite Mr. Edmund Ho. He will share with us, about fintech in Cambodia, and he will share with us the young people about how vibrancy they are, how high tech they are. Okay, Mr. Edmund Ho, actually he is the representative of MSQM, one of the developer in real estate, and he has vast experience, 10 years experience heading in overseas market as one of the developers channels distribution. And this year, Mr. M. Ho on board with his strong collaboration mindset and expertise in referring system for business entities that facilitates the expansion. It only means much growth along with the pipeline for MSQM. So today, Mr. M. Ho will share with us about fintech. So may I invite Mr. M. Ho?
Hi, thanks, Justin.
Hi, thank you.
So today I'll be actually sharing regarding fintech. So just now Justin shared a lot on the progress of Cambodia. So there are many pillars as well as development in Cambodia. So fintech is considered a new technology that's moving on. Okay, so let me start with the presentation. So basically, fintech is changing the world of finance, and it's how technology impacts the financial dealings. Before I start, there's a disclaimer. Okay, so this presentation is actually prepared by me, okay, in my own personal capacity. So opinions I express are personal. It doesn't reflect the view of others. As well as I made every attempt to make the information relevant or from reliable sources. So I'm not responsible or liable for any errors or omission as well. Okay. Okay, so today the topic we'll talk about what is fintech, okay, the fast developing Cambodia, okay, Cambodia government initiative, and how does it benefit Cambodia. Okay, so what is fintech? Okay, let us have a look on CNBC explanation of fintech itself.
If you've ever paid for something with your phone, transferred money using an app, or checked your bank statement online, then you're already part of a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's called fintech, and it's changing economies around the world. Fintech is short for financial technology. Seems simple, right? Well, the term fintech includes a huge range of products, technologies, and business models that are changing the financial services industry. It refers to everything from cashless payments to crowdfunding platforms to robo-advisors to virtual currencies. So every time you donate to someone's Kickstarter campaign, that's fintech. Or if you transfer money to someone using Venmo, that's also fintech. And that's just the beginning. Here at a major fintech conference in Amsterdam, hundreds of companies are trying to disrupt the banking and finance industries by changing the way we pay and borrow money. And investors are buying it. Global investment in the fintech sector has added up to nearly $100 billion since 2010. In 2017 alone, fintech investment surged 18%. Startups focusing on payment and lending technologies received the majority of those funds. It's not just startups that are getting into fintech. Some of the world's biggest companies, from Apple to Alibaba, are going big on it too. Just think of Apple Pay or Alipay. One reason for all of this investment, consumers are adopting fintech fast. 1 out of every 3 people across 20 major economies report using at least 2 fintech services in the last 6 months. China and India are leading the way, with more than half of consumers using services like money transfers, financial planning, borrowing, and insurance. Financial technology has filled a void for people around the world who don't have access to traditional banking services. In fact, it's estimated nearly 2 billion people worldwide are without bank accounts. Now, thanks to fintech, all you need is your phone to take out a loan or insurance. Take Kenya, which pioneered a mobile banking system called M-Pesa. Kenyans access their M-Pesa accounts directly on their mobile phones to transfer money, pay bills, or take out loans. Today, an estimated 96% of households in Kenya use M-Pesa. And one study found it has helped lift roughly 2% of Kenyan households out of extreme poverty. The rise of fintech has forced traditional lenders, insurers, and asset managers to embrace new digital technology.
From the video itself, you can notice that there's 3 key points that we are taking away. One is investors, global investment through fintech, because they can now easily access various venues to actually do their investment. Okay, second, access by more, so getting better outreach. So you can even reach to the rural areas. Okay, number 3, help to grow the country out of poverty. Okay, this is a topic that we actually explain later regarding financial inclusion. Okay, so about fintech. So fintech is the combination word of financial and technology. So it actually is a catch-all term, okay, which applies to any technology that helps consumers in terms of delivering of financial services in a convenient way. Okay, so using technology. Okay. So a bit of a history of fintech. So fintech actually started off in 1838. So very far away, right? So it's like about close to about 180 over years ago. You see, so when the first electronic telegraph was introduced, right, it's actually fintech already. How orders are made, okay, how orders are passed around between different regions across the world. Okay, then after, obviously, we have our first credit card in 1950, then as well as online brokerage firm in 1982. You see, so now you can see all this is like, for Warren Buffett. So he actually earns from this fintech as well. Okay, then after, you also have like Bitcoin in 2009, and then in 2013 with the smartphone. So it's the launch of the Apple Pay, the Google Pay itself. So you can see the history of fintech is still considered young, and it has created a lot of opportunities along the way. Okay, so a better illustration of fintech, I show you the Singapore fintech map. Okay, so I think everybody who have used like maybe GrabPay or maybe FavePay, Shopback. Okay, so this is actually fintech already. Or maybe if you have did some investment, okay, through those robo-advisor like StashAway, or it's actually fintech. So you can see how wide it is, or maybe even e-commerce, buying at Shopee and stuff like that. You see, so this is fintech. Okay, so fast developing Cambodia. So how is actually Cambodia reacting to fintech, and what are they actually doing? Okay, so we take a look at the World Fintech Festival, which is held online in Cambodia from last year, December.
Welcome everyone to the Singapore Fintech Festival Switch. I'm speaking to you from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Today I'm going to present to you what the National Bank of Cambodia, which is the country's central bank, has been developing for the past 4 years in terms of the payment infrastructure.
Cambodia is a small Southeast Asian country. We have 16.5 million population, and our economy is mainly driven by 5 major industries, namely tourism, textile export, construction, agriculture, and the banking sector. And we have a GDP as of 2019 of $25 billion. For the past 2 decades, the country has been rapidly growing at 7% on average. Of course, 2020 is going to be a different picture for Cambodia and for every other country as well, given the COVID-19 pandemic. In terms of the banking sector, so far we have a very fragmented banking sector. We have 25 commercial banks doing pretty much anything banking. And then we've got 14 specialized banks who can only lend, but they can't take deposits. And then we have about 6 microfinance deposit taking institutions. Those microfinance are allowed to take deposit from the public. And then we have 75 microfinance institutions across the countries, and they are mainly lending microloans and SME loans. We also have the payment service institution, 24 of them, and then we have 4 third-party processors. We have 15 leasing company, and then we've got about 3,000 money changer across the country. So as you can see, there's many status and of institution in Cambodia. Specifically on the payment system, we have introduced a number of initiatives. So bearing in mind that Cambodia economic history has been fairly recent, the country has achieved peace only since 1998. Before that, we've been through about 20 years of civil wars. And so the banking sector development really started in the year 2000, where we had a major banking restructuring happening, increase the minimum capital requirement, and introduce a conventional banking supervisions and regulation, etc. And so in 2012, we introduced the national clearing system. That is a centralized system for interbank clearing. In 2016, we introduced the fast payment system. This is to allow account-to-account transfer across banking institutions. It can only be done in our local currency. Again, something that I haven't mentioned is that Cambodia is a heavily dollarized economy. 90% of our economy is transacted in US dollars. And so are the deposit in the banking sector. So the FAST system only allow local currency account-to-account money transfer. In 2017, we have the Cambodia share switch, and this is a standardized chip standard where debit card issued by domestic bank can be read by any domestic bank's POS and ATM machine. And then in 2019, of course, we introduced the Bakong project, which I'm going to elaborate further in this presentation.
So that's actually a fast intro about Cambodia's financial system, as well as how fintech is actually leading in Cambodia. So the question is, why now? So there's many reasons. One of it is the market is ready. So consumers are actually looking for fintech. They're looking for ways to manage their account, to do their financial services, as well as the technology is here. With smartphones, we have apps that actually allows fintech to have easy access to the consumers. Okay, as well as consumers want efficiency. They want better control, they want faster, okay, they want to be productive. Okay, so fintech is actually leading the way. And Cambodia is actually moving on the track of it. Okay, so you can see Cambodia has a population of about 16 million. Okay, so 50% of the population is below the age of 25. Okay, as we know, Cambodia is a developing country, so there's only 21% that's urbanized. So there will be around maybe 80% that's actually in the rural areas. So, but this doesn't stop them. So you can see that in terms of mobile phone penetration, they are at 49%. So there's about 7 million plus internet users. Okay, and regarding mobile subscription, because it's a high expat country, so there's about 27 million mobile subscription in Cambodia. You can see how much attention Cambodia is getting and how many people are actually going in. You see, and also with the infrastructure of 4G and upcoming 5G, a lot of things will be happening. Okay, you'll be accelerating the whole technology and advancement and the adoption of it. Okay, so especially in this COVID time, you can see that payment through e-wallets, okay, or maybe food orders delivery, okay, are getting more and more popular. So it basically accelerates the pickup of fintech as well. And you can see that in Cambodia, fintech is everywhere. Okay, and then when we look at the news, you can see that Cambodia is an attractive destination for fintech and paytech companies. So there are reasons for it because of a very young country, okay, which is 50% below 25 years old. They are very easy to adopt this technology. Okay, and then even recently, a Cambodian startup, okay, called Chick, actually managed to get seed funding of 3.7 million. Okay, so you can see how much attention the global investors are actually looking into Cambodia. So this is actually pouring money into Cambodia as well to build that infrastructure. Okay, so what are the government initiatives? So just in the video, we also heard there's something called Bakong. Okay, so what is Bakong? Okay, Bakong is actually pioneered by the National Bank of Cambodia. So you can see the government initiative in this fintech itself. Okay, so they actually launched the first digital currency in Southeast Asia. Okay, called Bakong. Okay, so we'll take a look on what is Bakong.
Introducing Bakong, the world's first fully inclusive, central bank-backed mobile payment system. Designed and developed in collaboration with the National Bank of Cambodia, Bakong is a blockchain-based central bank digital payment system that allows you to pay merchants, send and receive money from friends and family, and easily keep track of your transactions, even if you don't have a bank account. The central bank mobile payment system is a secure digital alternative to paper banknotes designed to increase financial inclusion and payments efficiency. Bakong makes it easy for users and merchants to cash in and cash out with over a dozen of the top Cambodian banks. No more waiting in lines. The future of mobile payments is here. Bakong.
Yeah, so this actually briefly explains why it's Bakong and how does it actually helps the other fintech companies as well. Because with the government involvement, it actually standardized the currency on the platform itself. So, and then in the video, you also heard about financial inclusion. So what is financial inclusion? Financial inclusion is actually the making the availability of technology, especially fintech technology, towards equal opportunities on access. It means that every individuals and businesses can actually get the link towards this financial product and services. Okay, so what is the benefit of financial inclusion? So a few very important benefits. One is it actually eradicate poverty. Okay, because of the access of fintech, they can do like maybe loans, P2P. Okay, global investors can have better credit ratings to know who they can actually loan their money to. So this one we actually give an illustration later as well. As well, it actually creates more job opportunities. Okay, because of the fintech, there'll be requirements of back office, there'll be requirements of programmers and stuff like that. So this is actually increasing the job opportunities in the country as well. And there are many, many reasons to it. Okay. So what are the benefits to Cambodia? So as I mentioned, one, economic growth. Okay, so with investors having access to Cambodia's credit rating, they can actually be secure and know how to invest into Cambodia. Okay, so this actually brings in money to actually grow the economy. And as well as from studies of 70 countries, right, you can see that fintech actually brings up employment. Okay, it creates jobs. Okay, as we know, nowadays we are talking about automation and stuff like that, but fintech is something that is new. So it requires manpower to actually funnel the technology itself. And then as well as financial inclusion that we mentioned, which is very important, which brings up Cambodia from a developing country to be developed. Because it brings in financial supports, as well as it actually kind of democratize the whole industry as well. And then the speed and quality of innovation will actually bring up the legacy of it. Okay, so it brings standards to the country. Right? So the doors of it. So I'll give you an example of fintech against poverty and how does it actually help the poverty in terms of fintech.
There are 1.7 billion people in the world with low income, who are underprivileged with financial opportunities. Only if they had a car, they could work. How can financial institutions lend them money to buy cars while they don't have assets or credit? Here at GMS, created an ecosystem that finds new value in these people. It digitalizes the driver's working behavior and gives them new credit. And if the driver's repayment is delayed, our remote control system will immediately control and stop the car safely. That prompts the driver's repayment. This gives the financial institutions reassurance that they will acquire valuable customers previously overlooked. Saving 1.7 billion people around the world with the power of fintech. We are the global mobility service.
So you can see how fintech is actually helping Cambodia, as well as what is the future of fintech in Cambodia, and how does it actually bring Cambodia to the next stage itself. So if you actually have any questions, you actually can call our hotline 6100-1069, or you can even scan the WhatsApp or the Telegram, join our group. Okay, we'll be able to assist you in the Cambodia, because Cambodia has so many developments, there's so many interesting topics. So this is just one of the topics that we actually are discussing. Okay, and we are also situated in Center Point, Orchard. So by appointment only, okay, because now it's phase 2. So you can actually give us a call and then we can meet up one-to-one. Okay, now it's 2 packs. Then we will actually go through the presentation with you. So having said so much about Cambodia, let me share a bit about a project that we are doing as well, called the Leedon Integrated Lifestyle Hub. Okay, so this is by the developer MSQM. So it's situated in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh itself, the capital of Cambodia. So before I start, a bit of a disclaimer. So all investment carries some risk. Okay, the risk may not be suitable for everyone. Okay, and this is the overseas investment. So investors are advised to actually do necessary checks and research on the investment beforehand. Okay, so Leedon Integrated Lifestyle Hub basically is 3 phases. Okay, so you can see that there's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So phase 1 is actually Leedon Heights. It's actually a Singapore lifestyle concept. So we're actually bringing the Singapore lifestyle to Cambodia, okay, meeting the demands of the youth, of the rapid urbanization and the rise of the middle income families. Okay, phase 2 is Leedon Service Suites. Okay, this is going to be managed by international brand under Escort called Citadines. Okay, so it's aspired to be elegant and timeless. So it's actually creating to be positively to our integrated environment. Okay, and phase 3 is our Leedon Lifestyle and Medical Hub. So as the name mentioned, there's a lifestyle mall. So below there's a 3-story mall, as well as a grade A office, which is going to be a medical hub. So this is actually to facilitate the youth in Cambodia as well. So in it, there's retail and sports facilities. So something like esports will be very popular as well. It's going to be a new tech. So this is actually leading this area to be an urban center fringe itself. Okay, so before I end, I will give you a master plan video about Leedon
Leedon Integrated Lifestyle Hub, the next generation landmark of Phnom Penh. Here you will find high-end residences, retail establishments, modern sporting facilities and advanced medical services, all housed within an integrated world-class environment. Located 5 kilometres northwest of Phnom Penh city centre and 10 kilometres from the international airport, Leedon Integrated Lifestyle Hub is conveniently served by an array of existing transportation networks. Nearby is a collection of established amenities such as Aeon Mall, the Premier Centre, Australian International School, Grand Phnom Penh Golf Club and its water theme park. Within the development is Leedon Heights Condominium, Leedon Service Suites, Leedon Lifestyle Hub and Leedon Medical Hub, all nestled within a lush and well-appointed landscape. Let us now begin our journey, starting with Leedon Heights Condominium. Fronting the main street are daycare and child enrichment services that will cater to young families. In the heart of the development lies a 50 metres lap pool, a large children's playground and many lifestyle-centric landscape facilities that will keep residents fully occupied. The Leedon Service Suites sits at a serene and exclusive corner of the development. Here you will be greeted at the drop-off by the concierge that will assist your every need. At the top of the podium is a 25-metre swimming pool that is reserved exclusively for the serviced apartments. Together with a spacious gym, a business centre and a multi-purpose function room, guests will be well served during their time here. Located at the other half of the development is the Leedon Lifestyle Hub, where multi-level sports and lifestyle facilities await inside a cavernous podium. Rising above this podium is the Leedon Medical Hub. It houses Grade A office units, specialist clinics and medical suites, providing total wellness consultancy to both residents and visitors. The design of the development and its shopping aisle is meticulously crafted to be grand, wide and welcoming that leads to an internal atrium. At the centre of the podium is a voluminous glass-covered atrium lined with exciting retail and dining establishments that overlook into an event-filled amphitheatre. The podium houses a large multi-purpose arena that can be configured for different sporting and e-sporting events, concerts, seminars and sporting facilities, completing the overall vibrancy of the development. The Medical Hub, with its Grade A specification, is positioned and designed to exude a high level of professionalism. The medical facilities and clinics are built around the needs of the visitors, providing specialist services combined with the most advanced medical technology. Leedon Medical Hub will be the flagship of healthcare services in Phnom Penh. Integrated, well-connected and vibrant, Leedon Integrated Lifestyle Hub is poised to be the next landmark of Phnom Penh and will enrich you and your lifestyle way into the future.
That's Leedon Integrated Lifestyle Hub. So it's actually integrated as the name suggested. So there's actually condo that she's just starting from about 210 Sing dollar per square feet. So it's very affordable. And then the hotel suites actually is managed by Escort Citadines. So it's actually very investor friendly. Okay, especially foreign investors. It has developers guaranteed returns as well as buyback options available. So to understand more, same thing, you can call our hotline 6100-1069 or either scan or WhatsApp our Telegram group and then or visit us at Centrepoint. Okay, so thanks for the presentation. I hope everybody had a good learning as well as understanding about Cambodia. And we look forward to having the journey in Cambodia together as well. So I shall pass my mic back to Justin.
Thank you, Mr. Edmund Cole. Thank you. Well, it's surprising to see that how fintech is growing in Cambodia greatly and vastly. Comparing to Singapore, it's on par. So do take a good look of Cambodia. Although we are not able to travel, but Cambodia is really up and coming next country, young and vibrant country. So next, we're going to share about esports. Just now, I think you saw in the video, it mentioned about esports. Esports is a changing lifestyle of the new generation that bring forward a strategy, local and business opportunities for the future. And so today we have invited a guest speaker who is young and entrepreneur to share with us about esports. So I will introduce introduction of Gary Pang.
Hey, hi, Justin.
Hi. Yes. Okay. So Gary, our young entrepreneur Gary, Mr. Gary Pang, is young and generation playing esports, right? So he is a very enthusiastic in esports lover himself. So he has been playing esports, and also I think he always very aware of esports news. So I believe Gary, you have been watching the recent esports events in last December in Cambodia.
Yeah, I did. I think it's 2 years ago, 2019. Yeah, because past 2 years is because COVID, I couldn't travel to Cambodia.
Okay, great. So maybe you can share with us, with the audience here, about the esports. I think in Singapore is still growing sports over here. And little do we know that about Cambodia also, they are growing esports and they're having great events, big events in Cambodia. So do share with us about more about esports in Cambodia. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think I'll open my slide for my presentations. Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Gary. So thanks for the invitation for this webinar. And I'm just coming to share my personal experience in Cambodia. So I've been traveled to Cambodia since 2019, and I traveled to Cambodia because I wanted to explore the opportunity of property investment. So before for my parents. As you can see from the pictures, I traveled a few times and made of a property tour with my friends and some of the groups of property tour. And I realized that Cambodia is a very moving out rapidly, and it has a various type of mobile apps we can use in Cambodia, and it was quite convenient for us as a tourist. So like what Edmund mentioned just now, Fintech in Cambodia, actually they have already digitalize the market, especially in transport and digital marketing and digital payments like Grab and PPay. So except from Fintech, esports also playing a very good part in it. And he has matured into a multi-billion-dollar industry in 2019, and more than just playing games. So the modern esports has generated 1,000 hours of streaming content like live tournaments on TV, and major brands have sponsored lots of professional teams and dedicated fan base across a range of gaming titles. So for Cambodia, local telco companies like Cellcard, they have seen esports as a driver accelerator in internet accessibility in this country. So the telco has invested much of their resource in 5G infrastructure to support the mobile gaming industry. So it has really taken across Southeast Asia, including Cambodia, and adding the 5G connectivity will be available for the 2023 SEA Games, and Cambodia will be the host of this tournament. So I feel that it's very grateful that to the accessibility of mobile internet, at least 33% of the Cambodians, they have the ability to access the internet from their smartphones. And while Facebook is the most popular digital platform in this country, and there are famous mobile games like Mobile Legends, UBG Mobile, Rules of Survival, has very amazing followers all around the world. So with a young generation country, they have around 60% of them, they are under the age of 30. So esports could be a very good gateway to ease the adoption of other digital services as well. So as mentioned by the telco CEO, they very believe that esports is very achieving a more digitalized society by using the 2023 SEA Games as the benchmark to build up a Cambodia digital infrastructure, which they intend to make people aware of the opportunity of Cambodia to stand strong to the world stage. So they really hope that by 2023, they are aiming to have one of the most inclusive digital society in Southeast Asia. And I know that it was a very brave statement, which like Singapore with a forefront of digital transformations. Okay, I would like to share some of the video regarding esports with you guys regarding the booming growth of this new technology.
What's the difference between casual gaming and hardcore gaming? Well, what's the difference between running a mile and running a marathon? It's all about dedication, obsession, and passion. You gotta have the right mindset, and you gotta have the right gear. There are rules to the game, but there are no limits to how you play it. There's only guts and skill and a drive to beat the best. For only those who dream about the battles and long for the victories will rise to the challenge.
Okay, that's all for my part, and I'm very grateful that Justin invited me to this webinar for the sharing of esports, and hope that all of you have more understanding regards what is esport and what is the potential for esport. Okay, thanks. I pass to Justin.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Indeed, after we have seen the presentation by Mr. Emanko and Mr. Gary, Cambodia is up and young and coming country with the young populations, advancement, and with all the high tech and technology and the 5G up and coming, they are on par together with developed countries like Singapore, up and coming. So you can see the vibrancy of esports and the accessibility of fintech. No doubt, Cambodia is really advancement, to quite a far, to comparable up and coming, catching up to developed country. So due to young population and affordability, nowadays the young people in Cambodia, they are looking into lifestyle, they are looking into high tech savvy, fast and growing. They have good income because of the education. So let's look into Cambodia for what opportunity they have, and don't miss it. And before we end this, let me share one last thing. If you'd like to know more about other countries in Asia, like Cambodia, or even other countries that you're interested to look into, let me share with you this IEA. IEA is one of the association, okay, mainly for property agents, estate agents association. So they have courses conducting on foreign marketing, foreign property. So if you're interested to find out more about other countries like in Asia, like Southeast Asia that you want to know of, like Philippines, Japan, UK, Australia, and Thailand, Malaysia, you can come to this course. If you are agent yourself, it will give you 4 professional credits. Okay, can think about it. Come and join in and take part of this course to help you to grow in the knowledge about other foreign countries. What is their regulations they have? What are the law they have? Especially as a foreigner, if we want to look into investment. So these are the things that you can come and take the course and study and to understand, to know how to go about it. Okay. So before I end this, thank you for tuning in to our Unlimited Opportunity Cambodia series. So as what I have mentioned, because of phase 2, we are not able to open to public all, but by appointment. So you can give us a call at our hotline here, 6100-4913 or 6100-1069. Give us a call and book an appointment with us, and you can come down and join us. Look for us at Josco at the center point, and we can share with you more about Cambodia. So thank you for today and for tuning in. I'm Justin Lee, and I see you next week again. Thank you. Bye.